Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Project Logic here, Dope Ideas Media, Hank Nation TV, Plug City, man. We back, going for a little hiatus, but we back again, bringing all that dope content, dope interviews, freestyles, everything, man. We coming back, man. And, first one back, you know what I'm saying? Got to have my boy over here, D Nez. What's going on, man?
What's happening, man?
How you feeling, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. Another day above ground is a good day.
So for those of y'all don't know, this is my boy D Nez, owner of Brighter Days Productions, man, sport podcast platform, man. Been doing this for a while. We're gonna talk about a lot, man. Sports, music, man. This is gonna be crazy. I already know an argument is gonna ensue about something. I already know. We're gonna try to keep it as interview based as possible, man. June, what up, man?
What up, man?
Where you been, dog?
Hey, man, it's been a while.
Where you been? Hey, Hank, Polo's still waiting on his, you know what I'm saying? He said he running down on people. He don't get his interview. What's going on, man?
Hank's going to have to use sign language because he don't have a microphone.
Yeah, man.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
We back, though, man. Had to take a little hiatus, get the business right, got a new spot, new look, man. Everything is amazing this time around, man. We're just pushing forward, man. All new dope content, all new dope structure, everything, man. It's gonna flow smooth, man. So I'm definitely looking forward to what we got going on. But once again, my boy D Nez here, Brighter Days Productions, man. I want you to give a little intro, tell the folks about yourself, man.
Oh man. Like you said, it's Brighter Day Productions / Studios. Been in the podcast game since I want to say about 2019 now. Mm-hmm. So we're going on 5 years of me doing this thing.
That's what's up.
Started out with the Big and Bright show. Again with me and my man Jay Rutt, we held that down. Shout out to Rutt. We held that down for the last 3 years. We was 3 years strong going. Then my man Marco, who was our production guy, he ended up passing, due to cancer. And the studio that we had, cats was like, yeah, we just gonna go ahead and wrap it up and do away with it, man. Marco's gone, we don't really. I was like, man, the hell with all that. Look, I'll buy everything. I told him, I was like, nah, man, I want to keep this going. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much bought the studio, bought all the equipment, bought everything out, changed everything up. You know what I'm saying? It went from what they had going to pretty much Brighter Day Studios, man. And went from that. And then actually during that time, I linked up with a guy named Mike Brez, and he ended up putting the Three Kings together, which is a Chicago Bears podcast that we would do over on the Brawl Network. And then that ended up turning into something big, man, that we didn't think that was actually going to get that big. But as we were during the times of COVID, we found out that my man Brez ended up saying some, he dropped the N-word, man. It was like, bruh, what are you doing, man? He had got to, I guess he tried to repeat something that he saw on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
And, he dropped the N-word, so we had to go ahead and cut ties with him. And, at that time I had my own studio up and going. So we just switched it up and did our own thing with the Three Kings. And of course, before you know it, man, we was in the USA Today. We was acknowledged in the USA Today for our work on the Chicago Bears and everything else. And, and pretty much that's been the flavor ever since, man, going.
All right, so before we get into that, I want you to talk a little bit about starting up your own, because you took a big leap of faith there, going from working in somebody else's studio,
right,
and just coming in and recording and going about your business to now buying the studio, buying the equipment, being responsible for everything. I remember you were engineering your own sessions while you were recording.
Still do.
So kind of talk about that a little bit from the entrepreneurial standpoint for people who may be looking to get into podcasting, but maybe kind of scared because they don't know what they're doing. And you just went from one day not knowing to let me figure this out and I'm on it.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, just going from just someone who just basically gets into it and like you said, just recording and then just going about your day to now you doing everything on your own. That road podcasting whole platform is a bad joint, man. I'm telling you, it allows me to do everything basically just from my board, so I can record, I can, engineer, I can produce, I can mix, I can do every single thing right from my board. So that's a cold piece, man. And then of course, with the Rodecaster platform and the program that I got, on my my Apple MacBook, whatever have you. So it's dope, man. I can put in whatever I want to put in. I can punch in music, you know, I can. Usually I have something going, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm a hip hop head, man. So, you know, when I'm doing my what actually got people like catching people ear and everything, I would have like some of the dopest cuts, you know what I'm saying, going in the background. You know, when I first started, I think I started off with Life's a Bitch by Nas. You know what I'm saying? I had that going in the background while I was doing a pod, man. And Cass was like, yo, for some reason, I guess it was blowing people's minds. They was like, man, what I've never heard that. You know, it's like I've never heard that going on a podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like you had the music going in the background, the whole nine. You know, like, yo, that's dope as hell. How did you do that? What kind of programs you use? You know, and I'm not a hater. You know what I'm saying? So I put people on, you know, whatever I had going, and I just want to see people being successful and people make it. But if you want it, for those out there that are thinking about doing it, do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't waste your time. Don't sit up here and wait on the next individual. If you're gonna do it, do it. If you want to pursue it, you know, nothing comes to a dreamer but a dream if you don't act on those dreams. So, and this is something that I've always been very passionate about. So I definitely wanted to get it going, and here we are.
Facts, man. Ever since I've known you, man, you've been passionate about sports
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
music.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
super passionate, man. Let me ask, where did this passion? Because like I've never, like, you're probably the only, not the only, one of a handful of actual sports fans. Like the word fan is short for fanatic.
Right, right.
You don't like sports. You don't watch sports. Fanatic about sports.
Yeah.
Like we've been at work and the whole work day have been ruined for some sports related didn't go right.
Right.
Like, where did this deep-seated love for sports come from?
You know, in all honesty, I think that deep-rooted love for sports, I say between my uncle and my father.
Okay.
You know, again, you know, Pops put me on the game when I was man, I want to say about 3-4 years old. You know what I'm saying? He had me strapped up in the pads when I was about 3 or 4. You know what I'm saying? And you know, my uncle, he had me into sports, man. I want to say shit since as young as I can remember, when I could realize what the hell I was looking at on TV. So it goes way back. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about, I'm going on 41 years of being on this earth, man. I want to say since birth. So that's an absolute fact. So I mean, you know, it is just deeply rooted from there, you know, because again, I don't know, I just guess my family, man, we just very passionate, you know what I'm saying, about sports in general. As those, you know, and I've noticed, and I thought it was kind of weird, you know what I'm saying, going throughout life where, you know, people be looking at me like, man, why are you so amped up about it? Why are you so excited about it? Whatever, whatever. And I'm looking at them like, why you ain't? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? You know, so I mean, it's just always been something I've been wanting to do since the beginning of time, whether I'm playing sports, whether I'm talking about sports. And I get, you know, and I can get a little amped up or a little passionate when I'm dealing with individuals who don't know what the fuck they talking about. I'm dead serious. You know what I'm saying? That gets extremely annoying to me when somebody, you know, I get it that we all have our own opinions and think pieces and everything else. But when you trying to pass off, you know, your personal opinion as fact, and then when I start pulling up numbers and showing you why you're wrong and you still standing on your same position, I've had to grow to just be like, you know what, conversation over. Because I can't talk to you about this. Seriously.
Yeah, that's kind of funny because one of the things I've always known about you when it's come to sports is you've always been willing to die on every hill you climb up.
Absolutely.
Like, it don't matter how petty it is, you're willing to die on that hill. And you've had some extreme sports takes over the years, some not so extreme sports takes. We're going to talk a little bit about some, you know, things going on in the sports world right now. Kind of get your opinion on some of these things and, you know what I'm saying, what your take is on them. First thing that's kind of been hot in the news as it relates to sports lately has been WNBA.
Yeah.
Like, before we get into the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, all that, who's dope, Asia Wilson, who's dope, who's not. What is your take on the WNBA as a whole?
In regards to what, though?
Just WNBA. Is it a good brand of basketball to you?
No.
Is it entertaining to you?
It can be, depending on who's playing.
Why do you feel that WNBA is not a good brand of basketball?
All right, look, don't beat me up for this, okay?
Go ahead.
Don't beat me up for this. But again, anytime where I can watch Angel Reese get about 15 rebounds on one shot attempt, that's terrible. Okay, that's a terrible brand of basketball because again, it looks like a bunch of little girls out there, and again, I understand that these are grown women, but what I'm saying is, from the looks of it right now, Angel Reese can shoot at the basket, get a rebound, shoot again, miss, get the 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 rebound, and then put it back and then finally make the layup and then runs back down the court like, God damn. And they like, oh, well, Angel Reese had about 25 rebounds and 13 points. Well, damn. I mean,
so I guess let me rephrase that question because I think with both of us being in our 40s and both of us being from a certain time in sports, I think we could both argue that the comparative to what we grew up watching,
right,
the NBA is not a good brand of basketball.
No,
right
it's
now.
not.
When you coming down wide open on the 3-on-1 and you pulling up a three
right,
instead of going to the rack,
right,
when analytics tells you to either dunk the ball or shoot a three, don't take the wide open mid range. I think it's safe to say that basketball as a whole has deteriorated
Yes.
into a bad form of basketball.
Yes.
So to ask that question and solely put on the WNBA was like not fair on my part because all basketball, the way they play it, we don't care.
Right.
Nobody boxes out, things like that.
And you know, I blame AAU for that.
Okay.
On the boys and the girls side of basketball.
Okay.
I blame AAU for that because that's supposed to be the grassroots of teaching fundamentals, right?
Okay.
And it doesn't teach the fundamentals in that concept. It's basically a for-profit organization. This is why I steer my son, who is 6'2", 13 years old. I steer him away from the AAU circuit and basically let him work with his trainer. And then I go over what his trainer has taught him that day, and then we'll go over it for the week so he can further perfect his fundamentals, his footwork, you know, his ball handling, his shooting, you know, as far as the AAU market, you know, perfect example. And for those who watched this past NBA draft, right? I see why Bronny came out.
Do you?
Because this is one of the worst draft classes I ever seen in my life, where these individuals, right, and they want to say, well, oh, so many Frenchmen are dominating the NBA. You know, they're coming in after Victor Wembanyama and all this and all that. Okay, yeah, I get it. But again, these are young men over here in the US of A that are from they're the AAU babies, right? Who don't have fundamental skills, who pretty much can just dunk, jump high, or can shoot, but can't run a simple pick and roll, don't know a screen and roll, don't know a 1-3-1, couldn't perform. You know, it's sad when last year we watched Patrick Beverly was showing a young man who was on the team at the time how to perform a simple screen and roll and help defense.
I remember that.
This was awful. And you're in the NBA and you don't know this?
Well, here's the thing, right? So we'll get back to the WNBA thing.
Right.
We'll go here. Like, correct. But also, if you're showing somebody how to do a screen, how to do a pick and roll and help defense during a timeout in the middle of an NBA game, is that a failure of coaching? A failure of the NBA? Because why are you just now being showed this in the game? And I remember the viral clip when Patrick Beverly was grabbing the guy's shoulder and showing him how to set the screen and go around and moving him around and things like that. I do remember that, but it's like, if you, to your point, if you say, I see why Bronny was drafted, because this is the worst crop of players that we've seen come about. And then you say, out of all of these worst crop of players, Bronny averaged 4 points. So that makes you the worst of the worst crop.
While his teammate at USC averaged 24 and didn't even get drafted.
So here's the let's talk. Let's be honest, right? Bronny got drafted because who his daddy is.
Right, absolutely. And who his uncle is, which is Rich Paul.
Absolutely no problem with that.
Right. There's nothing wrong with nepotism.
There is, but I don't have a problem with it.
No, there's not. But see, I think there's nothing wrong with nepotism because nobody complains when Jerry Jones has his children running front office ops for the Dallas Cowboys.
I think they do, but nobody cares because the difference is if there's a difference between this is my business, I own it, and I'm going to hire who I want versus this is not my business and I'm going to use whatever power I have to try to force you to do what I want you to do.
Well, you know, that's a whole Jeannie Buss situation over there in Los Angeles.
I mean, that's LeBron using his.
She groupie styled out right now.
I mean, when you LeBron, well, that's the Lakers, right? Their whole thing is
they're laughing stock right now because I think if
so?
Dr. Jerry Buss was alive, or if one of the Buss brothers was over it, was actually had more operating control, this wouldn't have happened.
What you think would have happened differently?
A 40-year-old LeBron wouldn't be there. Because again, this is the Lakers. This is the same Los Angeles Lakers that showed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar the door. Mm-hmm. They showed Magic the door. Mm-hmm. They showed Shaq the door. They showed Kobe the door. But you know what I'm saying? But in Kobe's sense, they gave him the farewell tour, and then of course gave him the 2-year, the 2-year $80 million farewell tour, which was a thank you for what Kobe Bryant did in his last 2 years. He made $40 million.
But is it safe to say none of those names that you named were contributing the way 40-year-old LeBron is? 26, 7, and 7.
I think Kobe was.
I don't think Kobe put up 26, 7, and 7 his last year.
Oh no.
We could pull up the stats. I don't think Kobe was contributing.
He was about 20. He was around there.
Kobe was still Kobe when they.
Yeah, when he went out.
I remember he bought. What did he put up? 63 his last game.
His last game, he put up 63.
Yeah,
and then not only that, but also, Kobe wasn't ball dominant either. Like LeBron is ball dominant.
Whoa.
No, I'm dead serious. Listen to what I'm saying.
Hold on. Just
listen to what I'm saying.
You said Kobe wasn't ball dominant.
No, Kobe wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't as ball dominant as LeBron is. This is why I say this, right?
Go ahead.
It's because Kobe wasn't running the point.
I get what you're saying
LeBron's
as far as him running the point.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Kobe had to have the ball in his hands, but he didn't bring the ball up the court.
Exactly.
And then orchestrate.
Exactly.
Kobe would come off
the
a screen.
Still ran through Kobe.
Yes.
But LeBron,
it's just the terminology seems odd to you. Yes. That's all it is to you, bro.
LeBron facilitates. He facilitates, and he also runs the offense through him. Okay.
Kobe, his last year, he averaged 17.6 points a game.
How many games did he play?
He averaged. I'm on basketballreference.com. Mm-hmm. His last year, he averaged 17.6, 0.2 blocks, 0.9 steals, 2.8 assists.
A lot of that was contributed
3.7
injury, because I don't think he played as many games.
And he played games. He played 66 games
out of 82.
So, but he played 66 and averaged 17 points.
That's still Kobe.
But he's not LeBron. LeBron is averaging 26, 7, and 7 at 40. Like,
because he's dominating the ball.
But that's not, but come on. So everybody who's ball dominant averages 26, 7, and 7? Every point guard averages 26, 7, and 7 and 40?
And this was also Kobe Bryant coming off an Achilles injury as
well.
But
LeBron at 40.
LeBron's never had an Achilles injury.
But that's a testament to LeBron.
Or the roids.
Whatever you want to make.
Or the roids.
Hey, you seen Mike Bibby lately?
Yeah.
Has he put up 26, 7, and 7? I mean, see, this is what I like. This is why I like talking with you. That's why I like talking with you, because you have a hard time hiding your LeBron hate.
No, I like LeBron. See, that's the thing. LeBron is a great player. But this is my thing with LeBron, right? And it's not any LeBron hate. It's not any LeBron bias. But LeBron is the only player.
I'm not racist, but.
No, LeBron is a great player in his own right. But again, it took for him to have Dwayne Wade to teach him how to win, number one. Not only that, he wasn't the best player when he went to Miami initially, but he ended up becoming the best player in Miami due to D Wade's injuries.
Let me ask you this. Are you saying that right now, if you were to make your top 10, top 20, whatever list, greatest players of all time, you're going to have D Wade over LeBron James?
Pre-D Wade.
Show your hate.
Hold on.
No, just right now, today.
Hold on. What are we going off of overall, or are we going off of in their prime?
I'm just overall right now, today.
Again, like I said, are we basing this off?
No, just you make your top 10 list. You put everybody on there.
We
Jordan,
going in their prime.
Jordan, Kareem, Bill, whoever. Make your top 10 list.
Because I'm gonna go with my top 5 right now.
I'm just saying, whoever. Are you putting D Wade over LeBron?
Prime D Wade before injury, yes.
Why do you have to put all these caveats?
Because injuries.
Show your hate.
No, it's not hate. Because Dwayne, out of that class, who was the first one to win a ring?
Does that make him better?
Who was the first one to win MVP?
Does that make him better?
It was D Wade.
Does that make D Wade better than LeBron? Is all I'm saying. Like, if you don't, what I've had to learn over the years when I've watched sports is I've had to learn that Reggie Miller is my favorite player of all time. My favorite. Don't ask me why. I thought it was weird that he would shoot the ball and hit his hands together when that was dope to me. I'm like, I'll just try to do that. But I know my favorite guy is not in the greatest conversation. And then I used to be able to hold on with he's the best shooter. And then came Steph and Clay and
Ray Allen.
And just see, I still had Reggie over Ray.
Okay.
Just because of the style of ball that Reggie was.
And I can agree with that.
But once Steph came, the end of Dirk's career, Steph and Clay, I just had to hold on to the fact that, okay, he's just my favorite and I like him.
That's cool.
And there's certain players who I remember, and I hated Jordan when he played because they always put Indiana out.
The GOAT.
I hated it. So I didn't get to enjoy Jordan when he was.
You know, something has to be said about that 2005 Indiana Pacers squad. That was probably one of the greatest teams that got railroaded because of the malice at the palace, because that was their year to win the championship. Regardless of what anybody say, I don't care what anybody has to say. Nobody was touching that Pacers squad in 2005. Had they not had the incident at the Palace where Jermaine O'Neal, Ron Artest,
Ben Wallace,
all of them. But I'm just talking about as far as the Pacers.
Can I interject?
Yeah.
That very game where that happened, they was
whooping the Pistons' ass. They was whooping their ass.
It was over.
Yeah. And that's how I got started, because Ben Wallace was pissed off, because he felt he got a hard foul. And, again, they was already getting blew out. And that's when he took both hands and pushed Ron Artest. A lot of people don't understand how out cold Ron Artest was before that suspension. Ron Artest was your best defender and probably their best player on the floor that could give them 25 a night. Easy.
I don't know about 25, but he can put up some.
I'm dead serious.
I don't think LeBron. I don't think Ron ever averaged over 20, but.
No, what I'm saying,
he gave him buckets. He put up.
He was giving them buckets, man. They had no answer for him.
He was one of the very few players who gave the same effort on the defensive and offensive end, and played as wacky as you may have thought he was as a person.
He was a hooper.
He played fundamentally sound basketball.
Yeah, he was a hooper, and he was super strong too.
So just so we can kind of keep track of where we are. D Wade is greater than LeBron.
No, I didn't say it was greater. Wait.
Put him above LeBron, bro.
Wait, I said if I was building a team.
No, that wasn't the question.
Okay.
The question was, if you were to make your whatever number you want to pick, top 5, top 10, top 15, top 20. If you were saying these are the best players to play in order, your number one is whoever you put number 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Would you have D Wade over LeBron?
Yes, and my reason why.
So you said,
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
Because LeBron needed D Wade to teach him how to be a champion. That's why. Enough said. He needed him.
So that is, in your mind, for all arguments.
That's huge.
No, hear me out. For all arguments, not just for LeBron. Your argument is that if a player needed somebody else to show them how to do something integral, winning a championship, whatever the case may be, then there's no way you can be above that person.
The reason I say this,
I'm just making sure that's what you're saying, because if somebody who was a great came out and said this person showed me something, then they're no longer that, right?
You needed me to win.
So he needed him to win, or so
both.
Jordan needed Pippen, so therefore Jordan isn't.
No.
Oh, so it doesn't apply that way, though.
No, it can't apply that way, because it can't apply that way, because again, we saw what Scottie could do without Mike, right?
And we saw what Mike could do without Scottie. They're not like us.
Yeah.
Like you see how the guidelines you set change when you apply those guidelines.
This is the thing. This is the same Bulls team that was without Mike.
Mm-hmm.
They was getting bounced in the second round of the playoffs to the Knicks. Mike comes back, they win ships.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So Mike needed Scottie. Scottie needed Mike, right?
They needed each other.
Okay, so
They needed
if
each
you
other.
needed somebody else to win, you can't be that guy, right?
I don't know who does it alone.
You're the one who's making the argument that LeBron
But
can't be the guy.
but this is what I'm saying though, because D-Wade won his title before LeBron.
But
He didn't have LeBron on
think
that
about
team.
this. You just said who does it alone. So D-Wade didn't do it alone, right?
But what I'm saying is he didn't have LeBron on that team.
Facts.
That he won it with Shaq, that he won it with Gary Payton and Antoine Walker and all them, right?
But nobody does it alone. So they all.
But what I'm saying is this: the reason why is because, and this is honest to God truth, it was the Pat Riley effect, right? That too, one of the greatest coaches of all time. And at that time, he had probably the greatest player in the league at that time, which was Dwayne Wade. Greatest player in the league. Because again, it was a point in time. I don't think there'll ever be a player to shoot 80% from the floor in the playoffs. Ever again in the NBA history.
So you're saying there was a point in time when LeBron was in the league, when Dirk was in the league, when Tim Duncan was in the league, when Kobe was in the league. Not that D-Wade had an amazing ball out. You're saying that D-Wade was clearly the greatest player in the league
at that time. Yeah, him and Kobe.
I see dead people.
No, I'm dead serious. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy to say that, but then look at the numbers, right?
Yeah, but like I think there's no knocking D-Wade. I don't know where D-Wade ranks above the top, whatever. I don't know. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know.
He's a Hall of Famer, of course.
Of course. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what number I will put D-Wade at. But I know he's not above LeBron. I don't think any person who's
that's just my personal.
That's because you don't like LeBron.
Preface. No, because it's not that. Because again, like I said, on my Mount Rushmore, right? On my Mount Rushmore. It sounds crazy for me to say this, but on my Mount Rushmore, 5 greatest players of all time.
Okay.
Mike.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Magic.
Okay.
Kareem.
Okay.
Kobe.
Okay.
Duncan.
Mike, Magic, Kareem, Kobe, Duncan. Those are the 5 greatest players of all time.
Yeah.
Why no Bill Russell?
Again, Bill Russell was in an era where he was hooping against, and I hate to say it, I mean, damn, he had 5 other Hall of Famers with him,
and he was the best out of all of them.
Yeah, they say he was the best out of all of them. But
Jordan was hooping in the era where who was his best competition. I mean, notice how we can always make a caveat.
He went against Hall of Famers in every.
Who?
Jordan.
Who?
Yeah.
Who?
Jordan.
I'm saying who the Hall of Famers he went against?
Okay, is Charles Barkley now? We can go through.
Charles Barkley don't check Jordan.
Hold on. Yeah. We can go against. It was a Hall of Famer that he faced every time he went to the NBA Finals.
Who did he play against? Like it's one thing when we want to see Kobe and LeBron because they check each other. We want to see.
No, they didn't.
No, I'm saying we wanted to see them because their positions check each other. Let's see them in the finals and let's see them go head to head.
Remember, they had to stop doing that. Remember they used to do the puppets, right? Remember the Nike puppets, where they had what's that? My man Kel or Keenan or whatever. Yeah. He was doing the voice of one, and somebody was doing the voice of LeBron's puppet, and they had to stop doing the puppets because LeBron couldn't get out the East.
I don't know if that's why.
Yeah, remember?
No, I don't know if that's.
Remember that?
I mean. What LeBron got out the East in 05?
That was his first.
But he came to the league in 03. So year 2, he was out the East.
No. Hold up. He came in 03.
He came in 03 and got out the East in 05.
Nah, it was 08. It was 07, 08.
04 was Pistons.
05 was Pistons and Spurs, and Pistons lost.
Okay.
And Spurs won again, went back to back.
So no, I'm saying 04 was Pistons. 05 was Pistons. 06 was
Spurs.
No, I'm saying East team.
East.
That was LeBron. That was the year I might have missed. That's the year when LeBron went crazy on Detroit.
No, it was Heat. It was the Heat that year. Remember they beat the Mavericks in 06.
Okay. So it was 07?
07 was 07 is 4 years later.
Okay.
Because remember, LeBron didn't make the playoffs the first 3 years he was in the league.
It took him 4 years to make it to. You said he didn't make the playoffs at all his first 3?
Yeah. I think it was the first 2 or first 3. I think LeBron didn't make the playoffs the first 2 or first 3.
I think it was somewhere around there.
Yeah, because that was the issue when they was trying to give Melo Well, they wouldn't give Melo his just due for the rookie of the year.
Melo
should have been
won
rookie of the year.
Melo should have won rookie of the year. I give you that. That's the one to argue. That's what I think you do. You hold on to stuff like that because you're right on that. Melo should have got rookie of the year that year. I remember being over Marcus' house when they announced, shout out to Spadart, when they announced the rookie of the year, and this boy down there told the crib up.
Yeah, because it was crazy, man. Because Melo was in the West.
Yeah,
and he took
to the playoffs
his first year.
Yeah, he bought out, improved their record, everything. But LeBron's not better than D-Wade because LeBron needed somebody to teach him how to win.
That's just my But
then we can say the same thing for other players like Jordan.
What I'm saying is, let me rephrase that.
Bill Russell isn't
on
the top because he was the only all-star at his height, at his size, at his position.
No, he had to go up against
he said he had like 5 of them.
Well, he did, but he also went up against Wilt Chamberlain too.
Yeah,
but the thing is that when he was going up against Wilt Chamberlain, he had 4 other All-Stars. I mean, 4 other Hall of Famers.
Wilt Chamberlain. Who did Jordan have to go?
It was Magic, but Magic caught AIDS.
But so he didn't have anybody. So Jordan was going up against. They tried to make Clyde Drexler a thing.
But the thing was during this time, it was kind of an era where the hardest for Jordan to go against was already in his conference. It was Zeke. It was Zeke and the Pistons.
And during the time, and when he beat the Pistons, and after that,
and it was no competition after that.
So Jordan didn't have no competition. But you just said Bill Russell.
This is what I'm saying. Because again, for his first title, he went against Magic, right? In 91.
Okay.
But again, it's like you faced the hardest opposition that you're possibly going to face. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he went against Magic and Worthy, right?
I'm just saying apples to apples.
Right. But this is what I'm saying. We're gonna break down every six championships for Jordan, right? His first one he went against Magic, right?
Okay.
The second one he went against Clyde Drexler,
another
Hall of Famer. The third one he went against Barkley, another Hall of Famer, right? Yes.
I'm waiting to hear.
Okay. His fourth one he went against Sean Kemp and Gary Payton. 5 and 6 was against Karl Malone and John Stockton. Mm-hmm. Now, all of those teams, if it would have been anybody else, they would have won a championship.
Ooh. I mean, I don't know. We don't know that. We would assume so. But what I'm trying to figure out is how does that same logic not apply for Bill Russell? Can we not name the Hall of Famers who he played against?
Or he played with?
And against? He didn't play against Hall of Fame. Like the same logic does not apply to the people we like that it applies to the people we don't like.
I don't know, man. Like I said, when you hooping against
which one of those? So you telling me John Stockton, as we look back now with our 40-year-old eyes, because Clyde Drexler and John Stockton are where compared to Jordan's here?
It's kind of hard, man, because
no, it's not.
What I'm saying is that's kind of hard because that's Mike. That's Black Jesus.
So if you're that much better than everybody, but Bill Russell was that much better than everybody.
And I'll get that to him.
But he's not on the Mount Rushmore Jordan is.
Yes, he is. But he's not my top 5.
But that's what the Mount Rushmore is.
But I mean that because again, during that point in time, I wasn't old enough to watch Bill Russell. You see what I'm saying? I can only see highlights. So I don't really know his true impact of the game. But what I'm saying to me, what my 5 is, yes, what my 5 is on my Mount Rushmore. So
your Mount Rushmore is just based on like.
No, it's who I was able to see. And I can dig in the crates and go back and play.
But you got Kareem on there. Like I
was old enough to see Kareem.
Come on, man.
Kareem and Magic from Lansing. I mean,
bro, we were like 8 when they played. I
was still watching. You gotta understand, bro.
We were like 8, bro.
Right, but you gotta understand that during this time, I come from a sports,
and we saw the end of Kareem.
Right. And I'm from a sports addict family. You know what I'm saying? So Kareem was that deal still.
No, I know we heard the names because I remember hearing certain names that still ring in my ear. Like I remember my family used to be big on Alex English.
Right.
I don't remember watching him ball.
The Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I don't remember watching him ball like that. But I just remember hearing that name. So as I got older, I'm like, oh, this dude was cold. Like I didn't know how cold he was. You know what I'm saying? But I just like to hear you on tape admitting your bias without trying.
I don't have a bias because again, LeBron, LeBron is in my top 10 greatest players of all time. And he's number 6.
All right, so let's be honest. Okay, so let's hear who's the. We're gonna move on. Let me hear who's the 5 ahead of LeBron.
I just told you.
So let's hear it again. These players are greater than LeBron.
Yeah, Jordan.
Okay.
Kareem, Magic, Kobe, Tim.
And I'll ask you this, and then we'll move on. Is Kobe better than LeBron based on stats?
No. Well, I don't know. They neck and neck for our stats, but what I'm saying as far as killer instinct, competitive drive, and the fact that Kobe was a Laker from the beginning to the end, as LeBron put on 3 different uniforms. And on top of that,
Man, the hate just be flowing, boy.
No, it's not hate.
It is.
It's not hate. It's because LeBron put on 3 different uniforms. He tried to stack the deck no matter where he went. He's the only player to play with the most number 1 picks overall and lottery picks in NBA history. Yet he's only come up, and we really can't. I mean, that Mickey Mouse shit that they won in Disney, I really don't count that. Mickey Mouse shit. I don't.
Discounting rings.
I don't, because at the end of the day, it was players. It was players capitulating and everything else that was going on down there at Disney that they were saying they was ready to go home. They didn't give a shit about that.
I think it was players that I think that made it even more harder, because now you just had to lock in the basketball for 2 months. There was no, all right, let me hoop.
Harder to do what? To win a championship?
Yeah, because now you just see a lot of.
Well, if it was so hard, then why didn't they go? Why were they were they the AC the following year and got bounced?
Well, I said it was hard because now.
Because if it was so hard, then it would be easy for you the next year.
Well, if it was so easy, why were players so ready to go home and get up out of there?
Because they didn't want to be there.
Because they didn't want to play basketball. Because that's what it was, right?
They didn't want to be there.
Because they didn't want to play basketball. And when you just have to focus on basketball and nothing else, that's where LeBron might thrive. Whereas when you got players like the Dwight Howards, who Kobe will be mad at them because right after a loss, they getting ready to go to the club and go party. And Kobe like, we just lost and y'all trying to go party. I'm about to go put up 1,500 shots. Like, those type of environments are made for players who are locked into basketball, which is why you see my man TJ Warren average damn near 30 in the bubble, because he's a just basketball guy. And I know you guys don't have the mental capacity to just lock in the basketball. You guys are 4 hours of basketball and then 20 hours of get my mind on something else. Then 4 hours I'm 24-hour basketball. And when we have to be 24-hour basketball, you can't compete with me. But when you can go home, fuck these hoes, hop on IG, catch a flight real quick, go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and then come back to basketball, that's where it's a difference, because you need that detox. I don't. Now, when we move away from basketball, some people kind of fall off, which is why you got them, when you play football, you got them training camp warriors who, in this training camp, when we all together, they ball out and you get them to the game and they can't do it. Like, why can't you do it in the game? But you was just killing in training camp. Because when we have to be locked in, I got that focus you don't have. And that seems to be the difference between some and others. So some might say that the Mickey Mouse ring might have been a little bit harder to win than other rings. And then some people do take the opinion that you take, which is we discount it because of the situation they're in. But I don't want to hang up too much on that, because we already done went about 30 minutes on that. Got some good clips out of there. But I also want to talk to you about your love for the Bears. Mm-hmm. You're a big Bears fan. You've always been a Bears fan as I've known you. Yeah. Cussing out Scott Mitchell and all that type of shit.
Yeah, Bears.
The biggest Bears fan ever. Right. What's your take on? Let me ask you this specific question. Then I'm gonna let you dive into however you want to dive into it. Mm-hmm. Where you guys are right now, would you rather have Justin Fields or Caleb Williams?
Justin Fields, hands down.
Now let me ask you before you answer: is that based on stats? Or is that based on something else?
That's based on effort. Okay. That's based on heart. That's based on skill set. Okay. That's also based on he got fucked.
Okay.
So everybody seen what was going on. Like I said, I would rather have Justin Fields than a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Okay.
He was dangerous. He was dangerous.
Very. And he's a lion killer. True lion killer. And I'm not making that up. As you see, Dan Campbell came out his own mouth and said, I'm happy he's gone.
I watched him very closely last year.
I watched him too.
Unfortunately, I was happy he was out of there.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see him in the playoffs though.
But, man.
So,
wow. It's all good. It's all good.
But no, I know it seems to be.
This is my thing, right?
So let me ask this, and then I'll let you go into it. Because do you like Justin Fields more than you like the Bears?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No, hell no. It's players come and go, you know what I'm saying? But that's forever.
Okay.
But as far as Justin Fields is concerned, he got done dirty. I believe that he got served a very raw deal. You know, where a general manager lied in order to get the job, you know, saying coming in and say, oh, I'm gonna do everything I can to work around Justin Fields and to work around this young man and everything else. When in his whole mind, he had no inkling of keeping Justin Fields. And it was quite obvious because again, you blow the team up, you tank, you do everything you can, but yet meanwhile, Justin Fields is fucking up your plans. Because again, if he had not made that trade with Carolina and gotten that Carolina pick, even though he was trying to tank, see what he was trying to do is get 2 picks in the top 5. But however, Justin Fields was fucking his plans up by winning games he wasn't expecting them to win. And it was so evident that they were blowing games in the second half because Justin Fields would have them up by 2 or 3 scores going into the fourth quarter, and then the whole game plan to go to shit. Calling stupid ass plays, first time offensive coordinators, everything else. Meanwhile, Justin Fields is making the Bears competitive with that shitty roster. So if he's doing incredible things, you know, he doesn't have anybody to throw to, but he still, you know, he makes the throws. These guys are dropping passes. You know, they're not blocking for him. So he's like, fuck it. If you're not going to block, then I'll take off. And Justin Fields was not known to be a runner coming out of Ohio State. He was not. You know, he had All-American wide receivers that he was hitting with pinpoint accuracy.
Very accurate.
And everything else, you know, coming out of Ohio State. Played with broken ribs, took him to the college football playoff back-to-back years. The first year, because my man ran the wrong damn route, they lost to the eventual national champion, Clemson. You know what I'm saying? On that last play, dude was wide open. You know what I'm saying? Dude was, if he would have ran the damn route that he was supposed to be, he would have been wide open. But he ran the wrong route and ended up being an interception in the end zone. Okay. The following year, Justin Fields came back, beat the dog hell out of Clemson, and then went up, but he had broke his ribs in that game and still battled against Alabama, right? Now,
should have beat Georgia.
Yeah, should have, and they should have beat Georgia last year. You know, when my man took that dirty head hunt on Marvin Harrison Jr., but they didn't have an answer for him. But however, going into this year with the Bears, you know, the last couple seasons, they threw him out there with no offensive line. The general manager did nothing to get an offensive line behind him, did nothing to get him any type of wide receiver help. Then last offseason, what he did was he got him DJ Moore, and DJ Moore put up career numbers, right? But that's only one guy. Justin Fields still don't have a damn offensive line. And then he went and got him right out of Alabama. Out of Tennessee. You went and got him right out of Darnell Wright out of Tennessee. Still, you're not giving Justin Fields anything, right? And that was bullshit. So it goes to show that. And then on top of that, you not only not give Justin Fields what he needs, but then on the defensive side, you get rid of Roquan Smith. You get rid of Robert Quinn. You damn near gut that entire defense because, hey, I'm all about next year.
Do you think it's because they felt like they couldn't win with Justin?
No. I think it was more so because, again, when Ryan Tannenbaum said it best, they just wanted to reset the quarterback clock, and not have to pay Justin Fields, you know, cap crippling money, when this wasn't his guy. And a lot of GMs want their guy.
And I agree with you on that. I have no disagreement on that idea at all. But if they felt like they could win a Super Bowl with Justin Fields, then, because just like if they feel they're going to be able to win a Super Bowl with Caleb Williams, they're going to pay him that money. If they felt like they could win it with Justin, they're going to pay him that money. So it seemed like the only reason they would not want to pay him that money is if they felt they couldn't win with him. Because you see everywhere around Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville, everybody's getting paid, whether you perform or not. Starting quarterback, Jared Goff, you don't have to win. You're starting quarterback in the NFL, you're going to get 40, 50 million a year. Just what it is, you know. So seems like they didn't really have the confidence that he was actually going to win, and they would much rather start over earlier than later. And then when you have somebody like Caleb, who's supposed to be generational. Can you say something good about Caleb Williams?
Yeah. I'm actually excited to see what Caleb Williams does this year. You know, again, he's a part of the Bears, so I'm going to support him. But, you know, and I supported him when he was at USC, you know, felt that he was the best player in the country the year he won the Heisman Trophy. And last year, you know, I had some it raised a couple eyebrows of what was going on with Caleb Williams, just from the fact of his I wouldn't even say poor play, because the games that USC lost, he still put up crazy ass numbers. He didn't have a very good team, but at the same time, I mean, hell, he has he has some critical moments in big games where it was just like, okay, but me personally, I just would have kept Justin Fields, due to the fact of the matter that I would have traded that pick, got a haul, built and put more playmakers around Justin, because again, we don't know what Justin could have done with with the team that he had, because we gave him nothing. I would have loved to see what Justin would have done with the team that we currently have constructed, with the Keenan Allen, with the Roma Dunze, with the DeAndre Swift, with the Everett, at tight end to go along with Cole Kmet. You know what I'm saying? But again, they still haven't addressed that offensive line, which is a huge issue. You're still putting backups out there thinking that they're going to be starters. And then the fact that we're going into this season now, and of course we got the Hard Knocks thing going on this year, off season, training camp with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
However, Caleb Williams has not signed his contract. Romo Dunze has not signed their contract. I think that plays into a part. Probably they did it for Hard Knocks to see, let's get him in, let's get him signed, whatever. But a lot of diva shit is going on with Caleb Williams, man. That, again, he's a competitor. I like it. He's very confident in his abilities. He likes to talk shit. You know what I'm saying? He likes to pop his shit, and he likes to go out there and ball out and talk shit and let you know he's like an Aaron Rodgers type. So I like that, but let's just see if that can translate. Because again, I think our general manager made a huge mistake in letting go of Justin Fields? Absolutely. And do I think that Justin Fields went to the right situation? I truly believe he did, with Mike Tomlin over there in Pittsburgh. And congratulations, Pittsburgh, but y'all got a good one, man. Y'all got a good one. And he's going to, I truly do believe that he may actually end up starting before the Steelers even go into their 5th game. And that's the honest to God truth. We'll see. We'll see.
I feel you spoke on something. You kind of hit all the points that I wanted to hit on that, but you kind of mentioned something that we just said with Caleb Williams' diva mentality. You kind of hit on it a little bit when we had a brief conversation about it, which hopefully we can have time to go back to. We were talking about the WNBA, and you were talking about how a lot of those players are, birthed from AAU, which really doesn't focus on skills and things like that, which leads into the next topic, talking about the NIL.
I wish that shit was around when I was playing. I wish that was around.
What is my thoughts of the NIL is that the NCAA is doing this on purpose. We've heard for years people, whether it be the Mike Wilbon who calls the NCAA gutless, or Stephen A. Smith who calls the NCAA useless. Like, you don't have any power. You're just a Barney Fife commission just out here just to be out here. You're not doing that. And then they come up with this NIL, name, image, and likeness, which allows players to profit off of their own likeness. But the caveat is the teams, the schools, the representatives can't have anything to do with it at all. They can't look over your contracts. They can't advise you. They can't have any say in the NIL.
Good.
And now you have a bunch of these players, these students, these children being manipulated and taken advantage of. Can't think of the guy's name, but he was a Bears pick. I think it was a 3rd round pick. The guy who signed a $785,000 NIL deal. But the caveat to that deal was he had to pay back, I want to say it was 15% of all of his future NFL earnings, which turned it from an NIL deal to pretty much a payday advance loan. And Absolutely. You got the quarterback who was at Miami, who ended up going to Arizona.
Like a 360 deal.
Yeah, and it's like now you have all these players being taken advantage of.
I wouldn't necessarily say taken advantage of. I would say that what some of these people who are capitalizing on these NIL deals, they're doing the same thing that these sports agents do. It's no different.
But it is a little different though. Here's what I'm saying. If you're the Sanders family, if you're a Manning family, if you're a Harrison family, or if you come from somebody, because I could be offered an NIL deal, and they say, go get a lawyer. And I can just go find some random lawyer who doesn't know a thing about NIL deals, and I could be advised to sign a bad deal. Right. And a lot of these players, and my thing is players who, because the schools can't have any say, and they don't come from money, so they don't know the difference between the sports lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, a business lawyer, they go out and get a lawyer, and they're signing these bad predatory deals that pretty much turn into like payday loans. And now you have a lot of these players. If you're not one of the top 5% of the earners, now you turn around in these bad situations, and now you're running back to the NCAA for help and saying, y'all shouldn't let them take advantage of us like this. Y'all shouldn't let them do us like that. And the NCAA is sitting back saying, see, this is why y'all need us.
In all retrospect, and I will piggyback on that. Well, 9 times out of 10, if you are a player receiving an NIL deal, you're somebody who has a potential of going pro at the next level, right? So if you're receiving an NIL deal, then obviously that falls on the onus of who is your handler, whether it be your mother, your father, your uncle, whoever, right? Now, they have to go about and do their due diligence, right? Again, a lot of people that are in these circles, right, of athletes, they know who they can talk to, who can capitulate these deals and look at these contracts for them, and get stuff put in play. Now, if you choose to go the cheap route, then that's on you. But if you're looking for the NCAA to help you, this is the same system that's been fucking you from the beginning before you even made it to college. Because these are the same individuals who sit up here and get paid billions of dollars for bowl games and give you a PlayStation 5 and a gift card to Best Buy and tell you that, yeah, you're doing a good job. Meanwhile, we done made $2 billion off of the college football playoff that you played in, and you don't get a dime of.
Yeah. So what's the middle ground there? Because I agree with your point, is that the NIL finally gives you an opportunity to have some independence, some control of your name, to make some money because they've been taking advantage. You need that. I'm not against NIL, but now there are some people, because you are correct. It is the parents' due diligence and the players, but if you don't know how to do that due diligence, like the worst thing you can do is give somebody a tool that they don't know how to use and assume because they're a certain age, they know how to use it. Like if your parents in the hood, you in the hood, your coaches in the hood, all y'all poor, ain't none of y'all ever had a situation where y'all ever had to hire a lawyer before. And now you just got to go out and here comes some dude with a suit and a degree, say, yeah, 15%, I'll take your case. Right. Yeah, and I'll handle it. So like, what's the middle ground to ensure that the players, the fringe players, because just like you do, the Mannings, the Sanders, they're going to be taken care of. Right. But when you're the guy who's like, I remember, I think it came out about 2 years ago, the University of Michigan's offensive line, they got an NIL deal with, I think it was like Texas Roadhouse or something, where they all got like $60,000 in unlimited meals at Texas Roadhouse, like just for being on the offensive line. Yeah, you ain't the man. You might not get drafted, but I'm on the line. 60 bands a year and unlimited Texas Roadhouse. Bet. What is the middle ground to protect those players if it's not give it back to the NCAA, but not leave it Wild West so it can just be free picking for everybody? How do you protect the players and still allow them to make the money they deserve to make?
In all actuality, these young men have to grow up. And that's just as harsh as it has to be. In all actuality, these young men have to grow up because, again, 9 times out of 10, these are a lot of these cats. They go to these camps, right? And I can speak from experience. If you're attending these camps, you're running in these circles with high profile athletes, right? With high end 5-star recruits and everything else. Everybody becomes friends, right? You meet up at these camps and everything else. You all become friends. So if I'm a young man in that situation and I have an NIL deal and somebody comes to me and like, Nez, yo, all right, we want to give you, we want to offer you $500,000, just like the young boy that went to Detroit King, right? And end up going to University of Oregon. They gave him, initially was going to the University of Oregon, but then flipped and went to UCLA. Yeah. And they gave him a $2 million NIL deal, right? To be in LA, $2 million, right? Anybody that deals in that circle or deal in that situation, if I'm a young man and, I'm cool with Dante Moore or I'm a young man, I'm cool with Shador Sanders or whoever, right? Yo, who did your deal? Oh, it was my pops. Okay. Well, what people did you have look over this NIL contract? Who looked over this? Who looked over that? Or even if I have a teammate, that's high profile, high ranking, whatever. Okay, who looked over your contract or your NIL deal to make sure you was straight? Such and such, such and such. Okay, can you get me in contact with him or give me his info?
So you're saying there should be nothing in place to protect them. You should just have to go out and be like, yo, who did your deal?
Who's protecting them when they turn pro?
Their agents.
Agents, right?
And their lawyers and their managers.
But are the agents really protecting them? Yeah. I mean, who's really protecting the athlete, right? It's supposed to be whoever they're signed to, correct?
The agent is.
But how do they go about finding the agent? The right agent for them.
But see, at that point, your school can have some say in your agent. The agents can come to your school.
Nah. Not until you're ready. They can't deal with you long as
once you declare.
Once you declare, yes. But at that point in time,
NIL, you can never have the school can never have any say.
Right. So again, and once you declare, the school still don't have say because again, you're no longer affiliated with that school.
Not that the school can have say, or not that the school has any responsibility in that, but their relationships and their conversations and their agents who know certain coaches that have relationships with coaches and they can have conversations with NIL. You can't have any of that. Right. That's the Jaden Rashida issue. My man who was promised a $14 million NIL deal
from Florida.
And then the day of, they're like, you know what, we changed our mind.
And then the same day he transferred.
Yeah, and now he's working on suing them and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But the thing is like
depending on what type of language was in the contract and everything else.
But see, his thing about it is because the coaches end up calling him about it. And the thing is, the coaches or nobody from the school is supposed to have anything to do with the NIL.
So you're saying the coaches called him about it and stated
when he was talking about he's getting ready to dip, I'm out of here. They promised me this to go. Oh, we'll see what we can do. We'll figure something out.
I'm out.
No, but the point was the coaches aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, because they want to keep that recruit.
Yeah, but they're not. The way the rules are written is coaches and NIL have to be completely separate.
Because I can't. Yeah, NIL is solely based off your boosters.
Yeah, so and they're supposed to be separate from the school. So once it's like, oh, y'all had something to do with this, now I can try to hold y'all responsible. So when you find more often than not, players are being taken advantage of, it just seems like something should be there to protect those players. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest. When we still talking about children. When we're talking about freshmen, we're talking about 17 years old when they declaring, 16 going on 17 when they're declaring, 17, 18 getting on campus. We're talking about children who are impressionable.
Right.
And even if and a lot of times their parents, like imagine, I can use my mom. I'm pretty sure you can use your mom. Imagine somebody coming and sitting down at our mom's table,
right,
talking to them about NIL.
Right.
They throw $50,000 up, run it.
Right.
Like no telling what that deal gonna say. And we don't have the resources on our own to just go out there and at 17, 18. So I just feel bad for those players who find themselves in bad situations because they don't have the resources. It's one thing to refuse the resources, but when you don't have them, that's something totally different. But two more topics I want to get on, and we'll get up out of here. Kendrick Drake. I know I know you have been a long, upstanding member, dues paying, card carrying member of the light skin delegation, and as such, but you're also a very big fan of lyricism, content,
right?
Heavy hitting music. So where do you stand on the Kendrick versus Drake?
I believe that over this, because everybody think that this is just something that just transpired over the last couple months. This has been going on, I want to say, probably a little over a decade, with Kendrick sending shots. With Kendrick sending shots, the whole nine again. I don't know why. I don't know. Only them two know what happened over the years, what transpired for why, Kendrick feels the way he feels about Drake, whatever, whatnot. But where I stand, again, like I said, it's kind of hard for me, because it seemed like this is kind of harsh. But
go ahead.
Drake got what the fuck he deserved, in my opinion.
It's not harsh.
It's in my opinion, because me personally, I feel like he allowed his ghostwriters to gas him up, like he was that guy. And it's kind of in a sense like you've been baited. It's like he's been baited into this beef and not doing his due diligence on Drake's behalf, not doing his due diligence. And the fact that he got in it, and then it was just like, all right, gotcha, bitch. And then boom, the rest is history.
I think it seems like Kendrick Lamar is a great counterpuncher.
Yes, very.
Because everything Kendrick did was
calculated.
Like I do agree with you. As far as I know, it could have went back further. This to me went back to the Control verse.
Yeah.
It may have started before that, but to me, that's where it started at, where Kendrick.
And that was what, 13, 14 years ago?
Wanted smoke with the Top Dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm calling everybody out.
10 years ago.
Yeah, longer. Yeah, about, yeah. And it's just the timing of when Drake responded. Now, I don't know if we go look back, I don't know if every time Kendrick took a shot, if it was timed around something the way he would have played it out. Because it just so happened that this happened in a timing where he could do the Kendrick and Friends pop out for Juneteenth, and then drop the video on the 4th of July. I don't know if that was in the plans or if that was just his ability to counterpunch.
Yeah.
But why do you say, like, without, once again, now let me ask you this. I'll ask you this about LeBron. We know you don't have LeBron hate. Do you have Drake hate?
No Drake hate at all.
No Drake hate, but his ghostwriters hyped him up though, right?
He don't write them songs, bro.
But which songs don't he write?
He don't write them songs. Come on.
But it's no hate though, right?
No hate. No hate. But we've seen countless individuals come out saying that they wrote songs and songs were stolen from them or taken from them. And Drake just pretty much redid the whole damn song. And, this has been countless time and time again. If you go to any Drake song, you go to the credits, you open it up again, but again, this ain't like it was back in the day. But if you go written by who is it's always Aubrey Graham and somebody else.
But 99% of people's songs are like that. If you have a song with a sample in it, everybody on that sample has to be credited. The drummer.
I get it.
The bass player. Now, yes, Drake has had ghostwriters before.
He still has them.
I don't think Drake, if you were to take the top 10, maybe even top 15 greatest Drake songs, none of those songs are ghostwritten songs.
But they're team. They're the
greatest, not the biggest hits.
Right. Yeah. But what I'm saying is a lot. See, the thing is, man, right? And this is kind of hard.
Drake.
No,
just say it.
No. Listen what I'm saying.
Like Drake.
This is kind of hard for me because again, we knew him before he was who he was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we were in Toronto heavy in 03, 04, 05, right?
Okay.
And we would watch him on Much Music when he was a VJ and he was just Aubrey Graham, right? This is before people even knew who this motherfucker was, all right? Stateside. And we will watch him when he will host Much Music with the corniness. And I kept telling him, I kept saying, I'm like, this motherfucker's Nick Cannon. Remember I would say that? I'm like, this motherfucker's Nick Cannon, bro. Like legit Nick Cannon. But he teamed up with somebody who could give him, he teamed up with the hottest motherfucker at the time was Lil Wayne. Young Money, Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? All that. Did his thing. But
it's just funny watch you struggle to not admit the hate.
No. See, the thing is that he makes good party music. He's Kids Bob. You know what I'm saying? He's Kids Bob. Keep making me dance, waving my hands, and it won't be no threat. But now he went from that to, he got the gun fingers and pow pow, and I'm sitting and I'll put money on your head and bitch, please. Bitch, please. I gotta hit him with the exhibit on that. Bitch, please. You not cut like that,
but
bro.
The same thing like that apply.
Stop.
But this is the thing. Like, I have no problem with you saying that. But does that same thing apply for Lil Wayne?
It could, but
But can you just say it applies
for Lil
Wayne?
The reason why I'm saying that is it could because Lil Wayne started with Cash Money very, very early.
It should, right?
But again, we don't know. But see, no. This is what I'm saying. But Wayne was also attached to some killers from Holly Grove. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
that the same thing apply to Pac?
What do you mean?
They're not like us.
What do you mean? Does the same thing apply to Pac?
The same thing apply to Pac. When did Pac become a gangster?
He never said he was a gangster. He never did.
So he was just the only non-gangster at the gangster party?
No. What I'm saying, no. Pac was always a black activist, right? Always a black activist. What people don't know is that thug life, the whole thug life meaning,
we understand that
came from who? Mutulu Shakur, who was locked up who was promoting thug life, saying that this is what this means, right? And Pac said, okay, I'm gonna push that message and keep it going.
So when Pac was like, first off, fuck your bitch and the click you claim, he was really pushing positivity.
West Side, when we ride, coming quick with game.
it was really all. It really
it
wasn't gangster.
The thing was with Pac in the beginning.
Hit him up, wasn't gangster.
Hold on. What I'm saying is this: with Pac in the beginning, he started off is like the Gemini approach, right? It's two different sides.
So he started off positive. He started off woke,
right?
If you want to say,
yes,
very well read.
But also he had the rebellious, activist Black Panther other side. And now that was a part of it. But then when he got with Suge, that's where that MOB shit came from.
He started acting different when he got around tough niggas.
Because he was no. Because Pac wasn't ever hold on. No. Because again, remember what everybody said when Pac did that role in Juice, right? Yeah. That's when it was like, man, he's starting to act like he's starting to assume the character of Bishop and Juice, right? Yeah. But beforehand, Pac was shooting at police long before that role. Was he not?
That's not the same.
Was he not? Just answer the question.
Yeah, he had a situation. Yeah.
Okay, where he shot at the police, the whole nine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then he had when he beat up the Hughes brother. That was long before that whole role, right? Because remember, what a lot of people don't realize is Pac was supposed to play Old Dog in Menace to Society, but he beat up one of the Hughes brothers.
There's a difference between getting into a fight.
He wasn't no bitch.
No, straw man is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
Pac became a gangster when he got with Suge Knight.
He started banging when he got with Suge Knight,
but he was never,
because he was claiming MOB,
and he became a gangster. He stumped out Orlando.
Mm-hmm.
And this music he was making, like me and you both big Pac fans.
Yes.
We could quote all the tough, thugged out shit Pac said.
Yes.
Pac completely switched when he got around that type of vibe.
Yeah.
Now, whether it was due because Suge got him out of jail, he wanted to hurry up and repay Suge and get on to start his own thing, whatever it was, he switched.
Yeah.
And became same way Drake.
He was around a lot of gangsters.
Same way Drake.
No. Because who's gang? Who's what?
I'm just saying Drake acts like and I'm a Drake fan, but the one of the major knocks on Drake is Drake doesn't really have an identity.
He don't.
So he acts like whoever he's around. Mm-hmm. When he was around the Migos, he was rapping like them. He was around Baby and Gunna, he was rapping like them. When he got around Savage, he was acting like them. When he got around Future, he was acting like him.
He really didn't talk that gangster shit till he started getting with Jay Prince.
Well, he started off with that.
Even when he had that protection in Houston
on the first project,
right?
He would say a little bit of slick shit.
He would just make like,
but it's just like, and that's what you would do when you've been rich. I don't know if he was rich when he was on Degrassi, but when you've been rich pretty much most of your adult life, and people keep thinking they can test you, of course, eventually you're gonna be like, yo, chill the fuck out. Whether that comes across in a song or in an action or whatever.
But during that time, he was getting extorted in Toronto. He was getting extorted by this rapper. For those that are listening to this podcast, go and look up this rapper named Sizzlack, right? From Toronto. He dropped a cut, Realest in the Six. And he had a couple more cuts, but this was a guy that just could not stand Drake for whatever reason. He had him robbed multiple times. He would go and scoop up Drake's entourage. He would catch him slipping, catch Drake's entourage slipping, tie him up, make Drake pay a ransom, the whole nine, right? This is why that restaurant New Ho King in Toronto, we went there a couple times, but this is why that restaurant New Ho King was so symbolic in Kendrick's initial diss. What people don't realize is that restaurant New Ho King in Toronto,
where he got robbed.
That's where he got robbed at.
Yeah, it's true. A nigga slimed me for my AP the same way a nigga slimed me for your main squeeze. Like he admit he got robbed for his watch. Yeah.
So he got robbed for his watch, whatever, whatnot, right? And then after that beef ensued for quite some time. Again,
so Drake had beef with him?
Yes, they really didn't get along, bro.
So the non-gangster dude had beef.
But the thing was, he wasn't in. What I'm saying is, I could beef with you and you'd be like, who are you? Listen, I could beef with you and be like, who are you? I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But why you dislike me? Whatever, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what that situation was. But dude, Sizzlack looked at Drake as a cosplay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we the ones that's here in Toronto putting in work, whatever. And you're trying to portray this role. Like, I'm gonna show everybody you not who you say you are.
Yeah.
So
typical hate.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sis, but see, it's more to it, but than that. And the whole situation with Sizzlack and Drake, the reason why he couldn't stand Drake after that, because again, he said you talk all this gangster shit. And this was during the time that Drake was running with Ross and all them in Miami, right? And Sizzlack sent them boys to go and rob Drake, and then Drake cooperated with the police in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order to go to get his get back. He cooperated with the police, the whole investigation, whatever, whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And Sizzlack was like, you a bitch for that. Because if you talking this street shit, we don't go to the police.
Yeah.
We handle our shit in the streets. So I know you're not about that life, so now I'm about to press you. Long story short, Sizzlack dropped a video, Realest in the Six, right? When he did that video, they were at New Ho King. All right. And that was the whole issue. And everybody knew about it. Like, damn, okay, you know, they robbed Drake, whatever, at the restaurant. He back at the restaurant talking his shit, whatever. 3 weeks later, Sizzlack died, was murdered at a party. Now, you and I know them house parties in Toronto is heavy, right? They rather hit a house party than go to a club.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Drake people got word that he would have been there, and this is where Drake started putting money on folks' heads. Now, I ain't look. Long story short, he got my man gone, and then after he did that, the rest is history. And then that's when you start noticing about Drake talking about put a little money, this, that, and the third. Again, it's still speculated that he got XXXTentacion knocked off.
So
everything
the
else.
non-gangster nigga is putting money on people's head to get them.
Because now he rich. He dumb rich. I mean, shit. Nah, he dumb rich. You know what I'm saying? You get a different circle around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what people don't know is that OVO shit is a real game.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that. You think it's just a record label. No, that shit is a real game. Just like the Weeknd's crew. What the fuck are they called, bro?
I can't think of the name.
No. It's OVO and it's shit. Come on, man. Come with it. It's OVO and whatever the Weeknd is called themselves. Fuck. That's a gang too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So damn, he's saying in so many songs. The Weeknd do. But you know, those are two gangs out of Toronto. Real gangs, but you know what I'm saying, and they got them as record labels now. Mm-hmm. But those are real gangs. So, you know, Chubbs, all them, whatever. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying? Weeknd, his crew, all that. That's when my man got shot. And that was the retaliation when Drake security got popped in the shoulder, right? Mm-hmm. And it was all the Weeknd sent them people to do this, that, and third. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said, it's who you're around. You know what I'm saying? It's who you around. So it is what it is. And, you know, same situation. Like you said, go with Pac. You know what I'm saying? Pac, he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? And he was always known to be a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Well, fuck it. This is who I'm run with. This is who I'm affiliated with. So shit, if they riding, I'm riding. In Pac's situation. You know what I'm saying? With Suge. And that's the same situation probably with Drake. You know what I'm saying? And in that case, yes, I get it. I see what you're saying, but even though we know you're not built like that, but see, in Pac case, like I said, shooting at the police, beating motherfuckers up, whatever. Yeah, we see that. But in
Drake's case, putting money on people's head.
Yeah, you got money now. You running with the crew. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Yeah, it is.
All right, man. So we're gonna wrap it up, man. We done hit about an hour, man. I definitely could go.
And we could talk all day,
man. For sure, man. Definitely gonna want to bring you back, man, throughout the season, man.
For sure.
Talk about the Bears. One last thing before we get up out of here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I do want you to give what's your prediction the Bears record this season?
Man, I'm hoping 11-6. 11-6.
11-6.
It better be with this much talent on the roster. Mm-hmm. It better be 11-6 because trust and believe with this level of talent on the roster, in all actuality, and this is the honest to God truth. This legit would be an 11-6 squad with Justin Fields on the roster. With the talent that's around him now.
So no caveat, 11-6.
No, I don't give a fuck.
Of course, the injury happened, Caleb.
I don't give a fuck. 11-6. You better make it happen.
Timestamp that.
It better happen.
11-6.
11-6 better happen. That's the honest to God truth. I do expect the Lions. Now,
I gotta talk about the Lions.
No. Well, this is what I'm saying because the Lions got real. They were blessed with not having any serious injuries last season. So usually everything that, you know what I'm saying, regresses back to the mean. So meaning they may get hit with the injury bug this year, but I still expect them to be up there, you know what I'm saying, like with the battle for the division. Now, who's going to be that number 2? It better be us. I know that for damn sure. Because like I said, if you'd have kept Justin Fields and put the talent around this damn roster, at worst, they would have went 11-6.
All right.
So they better go 11-6 with somebody that you're replacing him with and saying that he's better than. That's all I'm saying.
So there you have it, folks. No LeBron hate. Just a little bit of LeBron hate.
Nah, it ain't no hate.
No Drake hate.
Nah.
Just a little bit of Drake.
It ain't no hate. It ain't no hate.
And no matter who's on the Bears team, they better go 11-6 because they got rid of Justin Fields. But we don't see damn people.
Hey.
We gonna wrap it up, man. Hank Nation, Dope
XO.
Ideas Media, Plug City, XO the weekend.
XO,
man.
XO.
And my boy D-Naz from Brighter Days Productions and Media, man. Appreciate y'all for popping. Appreciate y'all for rocking.